So Xbox is making moves, and they're making moves at a crucial time, basically when the PS5 Pro has launched, and it's getting, pretty decent reviews and things like that. Obviously, people are going to really look at this and say, oh, well, Microsoft maybe dropped the ball. But I think the fact that, Microsoft is in the spot that they're in, and honestly, I don't think that they're really competing as much with the PlayStation 5, but that doesn't mean that they never will or whatever, or that they're not part of the scene. I've come to the realization that going forward, I think both Microsoft and Sony, and maybe even Nintendo, are going to use more iterative advancements in the hardware, meaning, because I don't think anybody really expected that, half the PlayStation, like the PS4 owners are still playing on PS4 and half are playing on PS5. There's even more Xbox One users than there are Xbox Series X and S users. The reason being, and I've mentioned this a few times, is the fact that Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, these games, Apex Legends, these games are still getting updated, and there's a lot of casuals that play these games and they haven't found a reason to upgrade to new hardware. So, it's really going to take that big bump, that big reason for people to kind of get interested in what's coming. And so, that's where I'm kind of at with all this stuff, and hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with this. It's not really a knock on Microsoft, but Microsoft does have some good news. I think this is probably going to shock some people. Let's get into it. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps the channel out. I do daily gaming content. I have a blast doing it. It's really just a good time. I try to be informative yet fun, and that's basically what it's all about. So honestly, hopefully that comes through to you guys, and you understand the amount of fun that I'm actually kind of just having fun with it. Honestly. So with that being said, this was nice to see, because a lot of people kind of like dog on Xbox or whatever, and honestly, it's just one of those situations where you have to kind of take the good with the bad. So, in my opinion, this is an interesting kind of situation. Not, the be-all, end-all or anything, but it is nice to hear. So, next year we know that Grand Theft Auto 6 is launching. A lot of people are like, well, that should sell some PS5 Pros. And, yeah, probably. For me, though, when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, well, yeah, I could see some people moving pros, and, I could see that definitely being a thing. But also, I kind of wanted to point out that I could also see a situation where Xbox consoles start selling. In particular, Xbox Series S. Now, we know, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold, 150 million units or more. And a lot of people are wondering about GTA 6 on the Series S. And now we have a little bit of an answer. Take-Two's chairman, CEO Strauss Zelnick, has said that he isn't worried about the potential performance issues related to Grand Theft Auto on the Series S. So, speaking as part of Take-Two's latest earnings, the CEO said that he's never been concerned with any potential hardware issues. And I quote, "Look, we support the platforms where the consumers are for as long as they're there. And we find a way to support platforms despite different levels of technology." When he was asked about the Xbox Series S, obviously Microsoft mandates that any game released on the Series X also be released on the Series S, the lower powered console. He said, and I quote, "Our labels are really good at that. I'm not really worried. I've never worried about where hardware was going, and I've said this many times over the years, because first of all, I don't worry about things over which I have no control. Secondly, I believe in the audience. The audience is going to show up if you have great properties. So we just have to make sure to be on an array of platforms." Obviously, the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, which was released in December of 23, confirming a 2025 release date, updating its financial guidance in May. Take-Two narrowed the game's release window to calendar 2025 to the fall of 2025. So a lot of people are obviously hotly anticipating this game, and I can understand why. Clearly GTA is just this huge kind of list of amazing things that people are looking forward to. I think obviously people are definitely going to get into a situation where we have a GTA thing that I wouldn't even bother putting out a game to try to be Game of the Year next year, because I think GTA is going to get it. And I'm not even a huge GTA fan, to be honest with you. I've never even finished a GTA campaign. I'm not a big GTA guy. It's just I've never been one. Those games are kind of a little bit maybe too open world or what have you. But with that being said, I can understand the appeal and things like that. I've like back in the day on the PS2 and stuff. I used to play GTA and things like that. And then what would happen was I would very much get in a situation where you would use the codes. You guys remember the codes? Like you play like GTA and you get the codes to get a situation where you get like an airplane or a tank or whatever the case may be, and that's what I used to do. It was kind of fun to do that. So for me anyway, I look at this and I go, okay, well, GTA is probably going to be pretty huge or whatever, and this has a possibility and potentiality to possibly push some Series S's. I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but it's definitely something that could happen, and definitely something that I think Microsoft is probably looking forward to, and he also went on to sort of talk about PC a little bit. He says if one platform diminishes in value, there's always another. So we're going to see great growth with PC right now, for example, and I have been able to view that open format would continue to grow, and PC is an open format. I do think PC will continue to be a more and more important part of the console business going forward, and that isn't complicated for us to support it all. So the bottom line is we are selective about which platforms we support. We make the tech work when we can make it work, as long as the audience is big enough to make it worthwhile. So yeah, again, I think obviously this game is going to be on consoles only at first, and then you probably a couple years later on PC or whatever. But it is, since they're focusing strictly on console at first, I think that's going to bode well for the Series S. They're no dummies when it comes to, getting the most out of the hardware. I think they're going to be able to do a real good job with it. And that's an exciting prospect. People have to understand that, as kind of gamers or whatever, we're going to continue to see like different types of performances and things like that. I don't know what Microsoft plans for the future. Maybe they'll plan a console that's weaker again or whatever. Maybe they'll go the Nintendo route. I mean, if you think about it, Nintendo used to go with power, and then they started getting their butts kicked in a little bit by Sony, and so they went with their own thing. And who can blame them? I mean, they found their own little niche in a very interesting way, and the Switch might even end up beating out the PS2 as the all-time best-selling console. So again, it's hard to really kind of argue the point there that Nintendo's doing the right thing. They also had the very successful Wii, which I think kind of speaks for itself. And again, it just really kind of comes down to what you're looking to do, because I think most people that own a Switch probably own it as a secondary console or something along those lines, and that is exactly probably what the thought process was. They have this thing that you can take on the go with you. It's kind of inexpensive. It's just a game that I feel they've done a console and a platform that they have done a fantastic job with, and who could really knock them? I think they've really come a long way, and again, I think they're kind of doing the iteration thing too. I fully think that they're just going to go call it a Switch 2 or whatever, and it's going to be a more powerful Switch. And I think games for a while are going to be supported on both the original Switch and the Switch 2. And of course, they recently announced backwards compatibility. I don't usually talk about Nintendo in videos, but I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit to kind of share with you. So yeah, looks like things are going to run really good from a standpoint of how things are going to be. I like the way that they kind of handled that question, and it looks like things are going to be kind of rocking on the Series X. So yeah, I'm kind of a fan of that. I'll probably pick it up. Hey, listen, it was a happening when GTA 5 launched, man, on 360. I was there, multiple discs. Everybody was playing it, and I was like having a good time with it. But I never got around to finishing it, and then everybody was like talking about GTA Online and that kind of stuff. So I can understand why people like the game and why people are fans of it. So but let me know, are you guys excited? Would you guys, there's a lot of casuals out there, maybe they decide to pick up a Series S to play GTA. I think probably some number of people picked up a Series S to play the college football game, and we'll see how it all turns out. But it is an exciting time nonetheless. GTA, we got new console, the Pro, refreshes slightly, I guess, with more hard drive space with Xboxes. A Switch 2 next year. Who knows? We might even get a tease from Xbox in terms of their new handheld. So it's all very interesting stuff. Anyway, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. I'll catch you next time. Crap gamer out.